Hey guys, welcome back. So, today we're gonna talk about trigger words. So, trigger words are pretty much words that gang stalkers throw at you to see if they can get a reaction from you. And, excuse me. And the thing is that these words that are thrown at you by gang stalkers are really meaningless to them, but they might mean something to you. And they are thrown at you because they know that when you're getting gang stalked, especially if you're tired, the words that they throw, you might connect with some words. You might identify with them. For example, so this doesn't only apply to words. This is the entire gang stalking game. We're talking about symbols, about objects, about colors. For example, being homeless, I didn't always have a restroom available, so I just pissed in water bottles and then just threw them in some trash. So water bottles were a thing, a symbol that kind of triggered me before. Additionally, being homeless was a thing that triggered me. So gang stalkers threw at me. They just began leaving shopping carts everywhere, to as like a trigger, and it triggered me for a while. Additionally, what else? Let's see. So batteries and the word charged. Well, the fact is that I'm HIV positive, and the thing is that when the word charged and positive as a positive terminal of a battery could have a different connotation to you. Well, if you're HIV positive, see, I'm positive that this is what they tried to do. I'm just kidding. Okay. Anyways, so this is how I dealt with it. The secret to another one. So I already told you that I was really self-conscious about like a toenail fungus that I had, right? So then what happened was that with the toenail fungus, that's very different. It's something really specific. So I'm gonna cover first the symbols that I mentioned already, and then we're gonna go over the toe fungus symbol thing. So anyway, so whenever I saw a headlight, a turn signal, or an evil grin, I literally just, it triggered me. So I thought to myself, what if I replace the image or the sensation with something funny? So I've loved Drawn Together and I love South Park, and they make me laugh a lot. So I decided to replace. There's an episode in Drawn Together where there's like a black chick that goes hey hey hey, and I thought that was so funny. And then there is another episode in South Park where Cartman pretends to be disabled, and he just goes Durr. So so I decided to replace the headlights and the stoplights or turn signals with those sounds. So whenever I saw a headlight, I immediately thought, hey, 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 hey. And whenever I saw a turn signal, no, wait. It was der, hey, hey, hey. And what else? Wait. And oh yeah, and it was just, hey. So headlight was, hey. And then turn signal was der. And then an evil grin was, hey, hey, hey. That's what it was. Sorry. So then every time I saw a headlight, I went in my head, hey. And every time I saw a turn signal, I went, Durr. And then whenever I saw an evil grin, I went, hey, 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 like in my head, and I played the image. So I did this a whole day, and my mind was so exhausted because every time I saw a turn signal, I was trying to overpower the symbol that had been imposed on me, or that for forever, for years. So it didn't automatically trigger the voice, but it made everything so much lighter. It made everything funny because I did it for like only one day, but I did it the whole day. And I wasn't saying these things out loud. I should have actually. I think that would have actually helped. But I was saying only these things in my head. So like, and I stopped doing it, but it did have an effect in the fact that it made things less intense. Like when I saw a headlight, like I just sometimes was just like ah, and it would make me laugh. And whenever I saw a turn signal, I just went like Durr! And I imagine Cartman doing it, and I would chuckle. And then when I saw an evil grin, I just went I just went hey or whatever. I mixed them up. Oh no, hey was the evil grin. Yeah, well whatever. Anyways, that's the idea. The idea is for you to replace these with something funny. And the thing is that you have to make it something diametrically opposing to the emotion that makes you feel that. And then you just repeat it a lot. You build the image, you make the sounds in your head, and you feel the emotion. You want to make sure that it makes you laugh, or that it makes you, if you can, for example, like the shopping carts that I totally like overcame. But every time I saw a shopping cart, I didn't think of myself as like homeless. I imagined a homeless person carrying, holding on to the shopping cart, while the shopping cart was like tied up with like a bunch of balloons, like in the movie Up, and the homeless person was just like, hey, like flying away, and that would make me chuckle. So like it was just so funny to me. And then whenever I saw, and then what that does is that it makes the symbols lose their power. Like, for example, one time, I like to watch tranny porn, here and there, and so like I felt so like gangstalkers were like putting transmission products or additives in front of my parts counter, and they would do the evil grin. Now, this is the thing. They didn't know that triggered something because I looked at them right in the eyes, so they saw how I reacted to it. So then they kept doing that. Now, so aside from that, that is how you diminish the impact of symbols. Like if color affects you, like the color yellow, how it affected me, I just like imagine like a very cool, beautiful sun, burning up someone that I hate, and it would just be funny, or like thinking of like in Bayonetta when you throw like the what's the name of that god in Bayonetta that you throw into the sun in the first Bayonetta? Well, I don't remember, but whatever. But or something that you think is super cool, but something that kind of just takes the negative emotion away from it. Now, so there is this other instance where when I was feeling the tactile hallucinations on my toe, this was when I felt that direct energy weapons were real, and the direct energy weapons, I felt it on my toe. So I had the impression that gangstalkers were purposely pointing the direct energy weapon to my toe to produce the image of an ugly foot on my head, of my foot particularly. The thing is that by this time my foot was kind of healed. So the image that I was having in my head was an image from way back when it was really bad. And then I was like, why is this image still being triggered? So then I was like, I need to replace it with something else. So then I replaced the image with like someone else's foot, like a Bigfoot's foot, with like an actual mushroom growing out of the toenail. And they kind of just, it was still ugly, but it wasn't my toe anymore. I wasn't identifying with it. So it took the impact from that. And you would think that gangstalkers would like use the foot that is worst. You know what I mean? But it was the other one, the one that had no problems at all. But so I just don't know. That's just how it was. Like I just felt. So they knew that I wasn't comfortable with my feet, because whenever I would go hang out with I would go hook up, I would always wear long socks, and I would never take them off. So that's how they knew. Now, this is how you take the heaviness out of gang stalking, by replacing the triggers with another trigger. You replace what you feel that has been programmed into you to have a negative emotion with an emotion that completely engulfs your entire being. You replace it with something funny, with something crazy, with something ridiculous, with something so outrageous that it's gonna completely eliminate the heaviness of gang stalking. I learned that it was my mind that was causing that. So you just replace this. So another word that became a trigger was the word harbor freight. What, you know, the store Harbor Freight. So I that triggered me because when this happened, I read that on the targeted individual manual that gang stalkers have access to your email, even though now I know that's not true. But I felt like they did. I mean, I believe that they had direct energy weapons, so obviously I believe that if they had direct energy weapons, of course, you know, hacking and email is nothing. So now, I was getting a lot of spam mail by Harbor Freight. So whenever a gang stalker said Harbor Freight, it did trigger something. I was like, oh, he's mocking because they're sending me spam from Harbor Freight. Why the fuck am I even gonna believe that? Like, that makes no sense, right? But when you're getting gang stalked, they threw the word and it connected something. And yeah, that's it. That's what it does. Trigger words, it's not because they know what's on your mind. It is because they're guessing. All right? And I just gave you the strategy to take the heaviness off of it. Thank you so much for watching. Bye. Hey.